availability average was at 54%. By the time I was leaving, it was 75%. In fact, in February, the president, in October, the president in parliament said that we were at 85% for the low-level facilities and 79% at hospitals. Now, part of that statistic is part of my work. The very statement Honorable Mchima is talking about is saying we have moved from 35% to 75%. So the 35% was in 2021. When I took over from Billy Mwetwa, it was at 54. Now, that 54 took 2 years. But to move from 54 to 75 or 79, it took less than a year. Now, I had just one thing to do. I had a job to do. What was that? Improve the stock availability of medicine. And I did my job very well. I'm not saying I did my job perfectly, because as you know, we are all sinners and we are not perfect. So I may have missed something. But when I went there, what I found was the Egypt deal. You see, the Egypt deal, we need to spend time there. The issue was that when UPND came to power, the stock availability was 35%. So government decided that one way of helping them to close this gap was to do a government-to-government procurement. So it was initially at $65 million. By the time we were signing, I'm the one who signed it. I signed it within 7 days of being there. Why did I sign it? Because my predecessor had done all the donkey work in terms of getting that government-to-government accredited with the Zambia ZPPA. So everything was done. And so I didn't see why it shouldn't do. So now, because it had moved from $65 million to $24 million, my predecessor had started making arrangements to make up for the shortfall. And how did he make up? He started what is called engaging the UN system to get us some medicine, because they do it more quickly than we. There were conversations at the Ministry of Commerce in the office of Minister Mlenga, because one of the things the local pharmaceutical companies were against Egypt was that the whole $65 million was going to go out. So they went to complain to government. And that's where the idea of mopping up came from. So when I took over as DG, the matter was just on the ground. And because what I wanted was to make sure as soon as possible, close the gap, I signed the Egyptian deal, $24 million. I went to ZPPA to get the mop-up sorted out. And then we started receiving medicines from the UN system. So that is what has helped us to be where we are in terms of availability of medicines and medical supplies. So I leave Zammsa very, very happy.
And it's the circumstances surrounding that deal that, got you dismissed.
This is where the confusion is. The nation is waiting to know the results of 4 bodies as far as the 61 containers are concerned. Remember, Honorable Masebo alleged state sabotage from me and my friends. That report, I don't have it. You people don't have it. You should ask for it. Next, DEC comes home, 31st about January. What are they looking for? Me, I'm expecting that they are looking for evidence to show, to link me to the 61 containers. No, they're looking for narcotics and illicit wealth. After they search, they arrest me 7 days later. And what are they arresting me for? Surprise, surprise. failure to follow procurement procedure. So it looks to me, I suspect now that, look, it's like, okay, there's nothing here. It's not true that it was state sabotage, or if it was, it is not Nyasulu alone. Find something. Because the very thing that helped us to get where we are, the very fights we were fighting on phone and so on and so forth, back and forth, and me standing my ground in order for the big picture to be achieved, is the very thing. They go and pick something there. So, for example, one of the things they have picked, this is the public domain, is that you bought cholera medicines at the height of cholera. You got the things and then you regularize later. Well, that is a matter for the procurement people. But if you ask me, we lost 700 people in cholera. People are dying, and people tell you, look, here at the stadium, we don't have ABCD. I should wait for 1 month to get those things. How many more people would we have lost? That was an emergency. That is a problem. That's one of the things they are saying I didn't follow procedure. So this is really a situation. I mean, I went into Zammsa very happy and very humbled to have been given such a huge thing. I mean, that's a $400 million, $500 million enterprise. So it's not a joke, it's a big thing. It's a national security matter.
So there was also a forensic audit which was conducted just after your dismissal. Your thoughts on the findings after this audit?
I wish I could have the full audit. I haven't seen it. So I'm just suspecting. No, I can't suspect anymore. Yesterday, Honorable Mwimbu did say that based on that report, because now it's available. Now, first of all, in terms of audits, we need to understand that when an audit is first done, it's possible that the auditor, I run an audit firm myself, it's possible that the auditor may have some questions, okay? Now, those questions, if they ask, you may find that, oh, okay, where was this receipt? Oh, it's here, it's provided. So when you do an interim report, you then go to the auditees, and then they surprise. So the thing that you take is only that thing which cannot be explained. Now, that did not happen because the state has decided to go straight into prosecution. So I wish I could have my hands on that report. There are 4 reports. I want a report from Zambia police because we were taken to Zambia police in the night of 12th July because we were state saboteurs. And if the police were not professional that night, we were going to sleep in cells. They just got statements and they let us go. DEC are investigating. Then the last I saw from DEC is that they issued a statement to say there was negligence, but nobody should talk about this matter. Where is the report? Zammsa was checking for the efficiency of these medicines to check whether the medicines from Egypt have been destroyed. And you had some people, some pharmacists actually, I'm very disappointed. Some pharmacists were busy saying, no, those things have gotten bad and they will not be safe for our people. Rumor has it that all those medicines have now since been distributed by Zammsa. So where is the report from Zammsa in regard to that 61 thing saga? Then the 4th thing which I heard was the thing you're talking about, the forensic audit. So for me, actually, I should have remained suspended until all these things are out, because that's when you can take a proper position, because you will know who is responsible for what.
So how do you think your firing reflects on the current state of governance at Zammsa? You've already pointed at political interference there.
It's confusion. Yeah, it's confusion. Okay, the state of governance at Zammsa is chaotic because of political interference. Now, somebody will say, yeah, but you yourself are a political cadre. Yeah, I mean, political cadre deployment is a policy that a party can take. I know that the ANC does political cadre deployment. What's important is not whether somebody is a cadre or not, but whether somebody is qualified for a job or not. So, the state of governance at Zammsa is chaotic, and the way Ministry of Health relates to the management at Zammsa and vice versa needs improvement.
All right, in case you're just joining us, this is Tuesday's edition of the Hot Sit. And in case you have any questions, we will be opening up the phone lines, top of the hour, that is at 10. And the number to dial is 0974-870-877. That is 0974-870-877. And our guest this morning is the former Zambia Medicines and Medical Supplies Agency Director General, Mr. Victor Nyasulu. So, Mr. Nyasulu, what support do you expect from your former colleagues and the medical community? Are they holding hands with you?
Yeah, well, it's difficult, you know.
I mean, you've said you did a good job. I mean, you've explained to us in terms of medical supplies where we were standing, how far you managed to push things. So, are they holding hands with you?
Yeah, you know. As much as they can do. You know, the situation in Zambia is that once you are accused, it's like you're already condemned. So condemned until proved, as opposed to what the Constitution actually says. So I am happy with the support I get from no person is liked by everybody. And the context of what I say, good job, is in terms of the one most important metric for Zammsa, the stock availability of essential medicines in public health facilities. That was being boasted about, is always being boasted about by both the President and the Minister of Health, even in his last statement.
With the withdrawing of aid from by the US, by US $50 million, that's a lot of money. That's about 1.4 billion kwacha if we have to throw it there. It can go a long way. In terms of how this will affect us as a country, let's just spend a bit more time on that, because you're so familiar, you know, with this space. How do you think we will be affected as a country? I know you've touched briefly on, you know, medicines like, you know, the antiretrovirals. We know there's malaria drugs as well, TB. But do we really have a clear picture of the damage this will do to us as a country, and what lessons should we learn from this?
So first of all, it is true that that's a lot of money from a budget which is not even enough. Then you have a problem. So the other very difficult risk we now face is that when the US government pulls out or partly pulls out, the US government, remember, is also part of the people who put money in Global Fund. So I'm sure there are meetings now in Global Fund and other donors assessing their help. So we will be hit by trying to find another 1.4 billion so that services to our people who need the service as far as HIV, TB, and malaria are concerned is not disrupted. Then when the cut actually happens, because remember, who knows, if government does some quiet diplomacy and so on and so forth, maybe they can be relenting, but not with President Donald Trump in that office. But, you know, let's pray that there's a relenting.
Maybe the question should be, how do we fill that gap?
Exactly. So, well, it has to be found from somewhere. Now, already, the budget which we have already has a big deficit. So, it means that it has to be gotten from somewhere else. Now, somewhere else means that that service level worth $50 million will have to suffer, and then we have a problem.
Oh. All right, we get to the phone lines if you have any questions, 0974-870-877, or you can post that on our Facebook page. That is the Hot FM Zambia Facebook page. The number that you're dialing is 0974-870-877. You can give us a call. Our guest this morning is the former Zammsa DG. This is Mr. Victor Nyasulu. So you can give us a call if you have any question for him this morning.
You're listening to the Hot Seat on Hot FM 87.7. It's time for you to call now and get involved. Call now and get involved.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, thanks. Your name?
Michael.
Michael. All right, Michael.
I've got two questions for the former DG.
Can you maybe cut them down to two? That would be a bit too much.
Okay, I've got one important question.
Sure, go on.
All the accusations which have been leveled by the American government, I'm sure government has been aware. Despite us not having privy to the forensic audit, all these problems which have been targeted, starting from minutes of health, Zammsa, is this thing in never briefed the permanent secretary at Ministry of Health of all this happening? Why at the 11th hour? Why is he talking when he's out of that employment or is being accused of that? Did he brief the minister? Did he brief the permanent secretary? Why are we listening to this after the American representative came and said light and shed tears on all the platforms of communication? Why didn't he bring this to the attention of the country? That is my contribution this morning. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Michael. All right, we'll take in another call. Let's just take in two more, Mr. Nyasulu, then you can respond. 0974-870-877. If you have any question for Mr. Nyasulu, you can call on that line. Hello, good morning. Good morning. You're through to the hot seat.
How are you?
Hello, good morning.
Morning. Mr. Nyasulu, how are you?
I'm okay. How are you?
Very fine. You are speaking to Brother Chisha in Lusaka.
Chisha, all right, go on.
Chisha.
Thank you. I have a question for you, Mr. Nyasulu. We have heard a lot of comments from government saying the American ambassador, for him to come out through the media to disclose the thieving which is happening in the Ministry of Health, he made a mistake. I want to hear from you. The ambassador said he was able to meet the government officials for 33 times, and there was no any improvement to that. Is the ambassador made a mistake to come out the way he came out? And secondly, is the Minister of Health supposed to be one of the whistleblowers? Because what I know is that the minister is supposed to take action whatever he or she suspects anything. Is he also supposed to be one of the whistleblowers? Because we expect the action expected the action from the minister by then, Madam Masebo. But what we heard, they were just lamenting. She was also crying. No, I've seen medicine being missing. Is this supposed to be counted among us, the whistleblowers as well? Thank you so much.
All right, thank you, Chisha. There. Let's take in one more, and then you can take the questions that have come through up. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
Dr. Proud from Garden.
My friend, Dr. Proud.
First of all, the Minister of Health, they should not blame you as a director. What we want in me, I'm speaking as a UPND support right now. We need the minister who does the constituents. Nominated member to reach that ministry. For example, because the strength only we know medicine. Are you aware of our Republic President? The direct Minister of Health says, let us produce our medicine here in Zambia, be it cancer, ARV, but they are not implementing. Right now, there is 100 patients who are treated there in cancer who wanted to be evacuated to India. But if we got our own medical here, we can save the money. These men are going misused to take people in India. But if we got nominated member of parliament, we can go 24 hours, working on enforcement than a member of parliament the other time we go in the constituency. That's why you see this group. As long as you can say to Nyasulu, as long as ministers is the MP for the Kerende, is the MP for Choma, is the MP for Mandebo, is the MP for Kanyama or Tawama or anywhere, we are not going to avoid this kind of significant work. Let us appeal to our president to appoint nomination to member of parliament who will be only working in the hills. So then 24/7 to implement what the president is saying. They are not implementing the Republic President directive to produce ARV, to put cancer medicine here in Zambia, then it will take people in India. Thank you very much, Honorable Nyasulu.
All right,
Thank you, Dr. Proud.
All right, you can respond to those now.
Government has been aware. Why now?
Yeah, that's Michael's question.
Yes. So, yeah, but precisely that's the point. So, the ambassador is he was expressing his frustration, and from yesterday's remarks by Honorable Haimbe, he's telling him to use the correct channels. So from that advice from Honorable Haimbe, it means that the insinuation is that the ambassador breached diplomatic protocol to do what he did. I cannot comment on that. I can just say the ambassador, by his own confession and admission, did what he did because of irritating inaction from government.
So you feel he exhausted all the avenues?
Yeah. He had 3 meetings and a lot of talk, but no action. Whatever action has been taken, he's calling it small fish action. The implication of that statement is that he probably would even have names. And because I'm sure his statement was properly quality proved, it was he couldn't afford to do what Honorable Muchima did, mentioning names. And you saw even Honorable Mwimbu didn't mention names. But because of what Honorable Muchima did, even if he didn't mention names, people knew that he's talking about Nyasulu here. So it is frustration. He had to have an external valve because of questions he's receiving from the American people who pay for these medicines. Why did you bring this to the attention of the authorities? I did. You see, I am a chartered global management accountant. So immediately I took the reins at Zammsa. I said, these books are not in order because the current assets are less than the current liability. So there's a technical bankruptcy. So because of that, I made a case to the minister, to the PS, and then finally I wrote a letter. After my board chair wrote a letter. Remember, board chair is an accomplished chartered accountant. I am also an accomplished chartered accountant. So we were able to speak to each other very well. So we made the case, and she supported it. She went to the Secretary of the Treasury. We made the case, and we were given money. We were given Treasury authority that each time the $200 million comes, we can use 8% of that in order to run Zammsa properly, to buy CCTV cameras, to put gadgets in the vehicles, to do all those kind of things. But the minister, Masewo, was unhappy because she claims I didn't consult her. Meanwhile, she had the letter, the PS had the letter, and so on and so forth. So,
well, you seemed to have been frustrated way before your dismissal. So why not walk away? Why not step down?
And this is the point. I didn't realize. Now I know that there's actually a scheme. So basically, she headhunts me, takes me into Zammsa. Maybe she expected that because she sponsored me, anything she says I must do, I must say how high. Of course, whatever was right and makes sense, I did. And when she realized that I was not going to do exactly as she wanted, she basically sabotaged me, because after she cancelled the money, I was going to her office every 2 weeks to ask for the money, and she didn't give it. And so when somebody went to her and lied that I was trying to steal 61 containers, she thought that was the chance. Because the nation needs to know that earlier in May, she called me from Switzerland and she said, I must resign. Why? Because I gave a contract to someone who they thought was PF. And somebody lied through the presidential aid, lied that we had given a contract of $15 million. Then when she told me to resign, I was just quiet. I didn't know that, in fact, she had asked the chair to ask me to resign. So the simple thing is that, having been frustrated by me herself, she then closed the tap, and it became difficult to run Zammsa. So if it had continued, of course, eventually I was going to actually walk away. And then, is the ambassador in order? I can't answer this. The answer to this is related. I'm sure the statement by Honorable Haimbe is loaded to answer this question. The next question, is the minister supposed to be a whistleblower as well? By 2021, when Minister Masewo was in charge, and I was at the commission, and I had nothing to do with Zammsa, she knew the problem of theft of medicine. The Americans had already hinted to her. She must have also have found files about what was happening in the prior years. What I have been taught by one of the presidential aides is that the Americans have been frustrated. Before this ambassador said what he said, during one of those 33 meetings, they did express frustration that there's no action on this matter. Dr. Proud is talking about that a nominated member of parliament would be more would concentrate more than a member of parliament who has to keep visiting their constituency. I don't know. It's yet to be seen. This is a bigger issue. You know what the Zambians have said before about perhaps we should follow a system whereby we get advisors of the president in the name of ministers outside of parliament, as opposed to getting them from parliament.
All right, we're taking more calls, 0974-870-877. If you have any question for Mr. Nyasulu, you can call on that line. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Hope.
Hello, good morning, thanks. Your name?
Yeah, my name is Elias Abraham Mona.
Abraham, all right, go on.
Yes, today I'm so glad that Mr. Nyasulu has been put on a platform where I can listen to him and I'm at peace with him.
Thank you.
Mr. Nyasulu, I wish the president had an opportunity.
Hello? All right, we seem to have lost Abraham there. Hello? Oh. All right, unfortunately, he'll have to call us back. 0974-870-877 is the number to dial. Too bad. Abraham, call back if you can. We really wanted to hear what you had to say there. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. You're through to the hot seat. Hello, 0974-870-877. We have some questions on our Facebook page. We'll be reading them out shortly. We are also live on Kwitu FM. Hello, good morning. Right, it seems the line dropped there. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, how are you?
Good morning, thanks. Your name?
Mukambana Morgan.
Morgan? All right, Morgan.
Within Lusaka.
All right, Mr. Morgan, go on.
Mr. Nyasulu. Is it Nyasulu?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. For me, my point is here. No matter who can speak to this and this, the fact of the matter is that the medicine was stolen. And the medicine was found yesterday we had a task force and in other shops. The same medicine was stolen, found in other good shop facilities. So for me, the point is here. What people of Zambia want to find out is that who stole the medicine. We can talk, it's not me, but the medicine was stolen, and even the ambassador himself, he said we are going to stop giving you to Kasani Mankara Mukuba. But Munkara are not there. For us, the point what we want to know, who stole the medicine? And these issues were finished for the even before even independence, because we have seen people going to hospital, writing the description, and saying, there is a drug store near the hospital, and so it gives us suspicious and tarnishes the image of the government. So what we want to know, who's really in the medicine? And this forensic, make sure that if you are clean, you are clean enough. I'm happy that the matter is in court. Go and prove your innocence in the court of law. But the perpetrator want to see the perpetrator. That's the point. I think. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Morgan there. Let's take in another one. 0974 870 877. Do you have any question for Mr. Nyasulu this morning? You can give us a call on that line. Hello. Good morning. Hello. Good morning. You're through to the hot seat. Hello. All right. The line seems to have dropped there. Hello. Good morning.
Oh, good morning, sir, Mr. Nyasulu.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Talking to Gilbert Mwira.
Gilbert.
I'm sure Mr. Nyasulu knows me because he hired me way back 17 years ago.
Zambian Airways. How are you, Mr. Mwila? Nice to hear from you.
Yes, sir. No, I feel for you because I personally know you and your temperament and your faith. And I speak also as a politician. I saw that when I left the practice, I concentrated on politics. So it's very sad to be listening to accusations about your work, and because I know what you taught us, integrity, objectivity, professional competence, and due care, and those I saw in you practically. So I don't think the 1 year you spent at Zammsa can be fair, that it can tarnish your professional reputation. So I just called not to talk at the merits and demerits of the cases, but just to encourage you to stay the course. And you have no choice but to talk, because if you keep quiet, the public will just believe what is spoken out there. In terms of the challenges that we have as a nation, in terms of medicine, I think we just have to take responsibility and accept that we have weaknesses in the system, and we should be willing to pay the price to correct the whole system. These blame games and marking people, and when things are incomplete, will not take us anywhere.
All right.
And in the long term, I think we should just be thinking of producing what we consume and consuming what we produce.
Right.
It is more dignified in that way.
Powerful.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
All right. You can take those up, Mr. Nyasulu.
So the first one is, unfortunately, didn't finish. Maybe, let me just say thank you very much. It was, what was his name? But he's at peace with me.
I think that's Abraham.
I thank God for him. I just want to say something about walking away. I hope you said, why not just walk away? It was too early to walk away. I mean, I believed that I was doing a great service, and you could see. We used to talk to the press every 2 months, and we could see the progress. So I didn't realize that there was a scheme, meanwhile, to get rid of me by hook or crook.
Because, well, I asked that because you seemed to have noticed that you were working in a so-called toxic environment with all the political interference you've pointed out. So why did you have to wait for that to happen for you to step down?
Well, first of all, remember, I'm a cadre. I'm a professional cadre. I mean, I'm a professional who is a cadre. So that was like some sort of cadre deployment. You know, in the ANC will tell you we believe in cadre deployment. PF will tell you we believe in cadre deployment. You haven't seen it in UPND, but they practice it. Okay? So my interest was to help the president to deliver in that space, which was very, very troubled. And now, you know yourself, Hope, how you used to sing about lack of medicine and prescriptions 2021, 2022, into 2023. But I'm happy that now the song has reduced. So walking away has never been my problem because I walked away from Citibank, I walked away from Zesco, I walked away from ZNBC I didn't walk away, they've chased me. But walking away is not a problem. But I didn't realize that there was in fact a scheme to get rid of me by hook or crook. Medicine was stolen. Who stole it? This is the issue, and that's why
we all seem to be, there's the finger pointing that's going on right now.
So that's why it's like I was poked by that statement by the minister, because all I expected from him was to say what they have done. So I was surprised that I'm now a suspect of USG medicine theft. Now, there are some people who have been arrested, and obviously this matter is now a prosecution matter. All I'm saying is that I am unaware. If in this final report there is now something that links me to the theft of medicine, so it will be a new arrest. All I'm saying is that, you know, as an accountant, when we prepare the balance sheet or statement of financial position, we say as at. So as at 8th May 2025, the position was that I am in trouble with the state because of a procurement glitch, not theft of USG donated medicine. That is the only point. If the people forget everything I've said, I want to assure them that as far as the medicine donated from the U.S. government is concerned, I am innocent. So who stole the medicine? We have some people who stole the medicine. Some accepted, like the 2019 case. There was, I think, some pharmacy called Ashton or something. They were found selling malaria medicine stolen from the government facilities. And those people were fined 24,000 kwacha they paid to Zammsa. I'm sure we'll hear more pharmacies and beneficial owners, maybe in Ministry of Health, who have been benefiting from this thing, maybe from Zammsa. I hesitate to point anyone at Zammsa. Not that it was clean, but anyway. So, no. Then I feel for you, that's Gilbert Mwila. Yes, I hired that young man many years ago at Zambian Airways when I was Chief Financial Officer. Thank you very much, Mr. Mwila, for that encouragement. And indeed, of course, it's time to take responsibility so that we pay for our bill. I mean, there are some things, Hope, which you can't go and ask the neighbor. You can't go and ask the neighbor to help you. Like a husband can't go to the neighbor and say, help me buy a bed sheet for my wife. Those things you don't. So health and education need to be in our hands.
Now, Secretary to the Treasury has been quoted as saying Zammsa is a failed project. Do you agree with him when he said that?
That is strange. It is his office that gave the money to try and get it going. So if you don't support the thing properly, and then you're the one responsible for supporting it, how can you measure that it's a failed project? The truth is that there are some people at Ndeke House who don't like the fact that the procurement of medicine moved from Ministry of Health to Zammsa. So some of the sabotaging of Zammsa is an attempt to take back the procurement to Ministry of Health. I heard that a lot of times.
All right, we get back to the calls. 0974 870 877. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. You're through to the hot seat. Give us a call if you have any question for Mr. Nyasulu this morning. He is the former Zammsa DG. So if you have any question or contribution this morning, you can give us a call on that line. Hello. Hello, good morning. You're through to the hot seat. All right, you can also post your questions on our Facebook page, 0974 870 877. Hello. Hello, good morning. You're through to the hot seat. All right, line seems to be dropping there. All right, we're taking in the last set of calls. So if you have any questions or contributions, you can call now. Hello. All right, we seem to have a problem with the line there. The lines keep dropping. So we'll be getting to the messages just to read some of the questions that have come through right now. Good morning. You're through to the hot seat. Hello, good morning. All right, unfortunately, Mr. Nyasulu, the line keep dropping there. We'll
Let me just
see if we can take in more. Let's try this one. Hello, good morning. All right, you can go on with what you wanted to say.
Let me just say something about failed project. The Zammsa Act that is used is Zammsa Act 2019. Operationally, Zammsa only came into operation 2022-2023. When I joined Zammsa, we were behind in terms of audited financial statements 5 years or something. By the time I was leaving, we had done 2018 and 2019 was almost finished. So there's not a single audited position from Zammsa books to check, to say that it's a failed project. Maybe we should say it's a stillborn. It hasn't even taken off. So if it hasn't taken off, how can you say whether it's failed or not? I think the nation needs to know that it was a project, of course, started by the PF, and it was inherited by the UPND government. But during my last days at Zammsa, you could see that the view by many executives at Ndeke House is that they must get it back.
So when he said it was a failed project, what do you think he was referring to there?
Of course, the context there was about the irregularities, which irregularities are in the public domain as per the Auditor General's reports. I mean, the Auditor General has always been auditing, and those issues keep coming up. You remember Hope. There is, for example, the overbuying of COVID-related medicines and medical supplies. That was in the 2019-2020 Auditor General's report. I must tell the nation that as far as the Auditor General is concerned, they have been going to Zammsa to audit so that 2020, 2021, 2022, and 2023, what we were going to do was simply to have them to certify, because all the issues that are about Zammsa are in the public domain. So he was talking about the irregularities that are there.
Right, let's get back to the phone lines. Hello.
Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, thanks. Your name?
My name is Thomas.
Your name again?
My name is Thomas.
Thomas, all right, go on. All right, go on.
Yes, Mr. Nyasulu.
Yes, good morning, Mr. Shula.
And you will be my former head coach.
Mr. Shula.
I'm happy.
All right, Mr. Shula, if you have us on speaker, just get off speaker. The line is not very clear.
Okay.
Yes, just use the mouthpiece.
I just want to encourage my brother to continue.
Thank you very much, Thomas.
All right, we seem to be struggling with the line there. All right, we'll have to pick up another one, 0974 870 877. We're taking in the last set of calls. If you have any question or contribution, we have Mr. Nyasulu in studio. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning. Your name? Your name again? All right, your line is not very clear. Do you have us on speaker?
No. I think that's the network.
All right, go on now.
Good morning, Mr. Nyasulu.
Good morning, sir.
Okay, my question is, you being at the helm of Zammsa, what do you think is the problem in the supply chain where medicines go missing? At what point in the supply chain does the medicine go missing? Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, you can take that up. At what point in the supply chain do you feel the drugs go missing? I think that's the million-dollar question.
Yes.
Yeah.
The biggest leakage is the lack of visibility when we have dropped the medicine at the public health facility. That whole process of you going into seeing the doctor and the doctor seeing you and then deciding what medicine you must get from the pharmacy, that process is a black box. And until we resolve that matter, we are going nowhere. That is the biggest leakage. The other problem is that there isn't adequate.
When you say, okay, but before you move on from this, so are you saying the doctors are the ones stealing the medicines? There?
No, I'm not saying that.
Who are you pointing?
Yeah,
who are you pointing
the doctor
at?
yesterday.
Yes, we did have the president of the Medical Association of Zambia, and we asked him this question directly. And since you were listening and you heard what he had to say,
yes.
So when we keep saying the people, then which people are we referring? Is it the patients now? Are we the ones stealing when we go there as patients? Because we can't keep hearing that people. Who are these people that are stealing then?
So it's not okay to say the doctors are stealing, the nurses are stealing. No, but I mean, of course, you have heard before. Even Minister Masebo used to lament, and she's on record that she was crying that you guys are stealing, and so on and so forth. So what I'm saying is that the technology in the world now exists for us, for example, to make sure that the doctors at UTH have got laptops. So when they prescribe on a laptop, on a system that is connected to the pharmacy at UTH. What does it cost to digitize UTH? Not much. I'm saying not much because if you have $128 million, someone got just $1 million so that UTH and all the hospitals that are big traffic points are digitized. So it's like.
So you're saying now, I mean, government knows what the problem is. You said it's a money problem, so.
It's a money problem, and it's a political. It's both. You see, there are some beneficiaries from this theft, unfortunately.
So it's intentional. They don't want us to go that route because. Is that what you're saying?
I'll tell you the story of IFMIS in government. When IFMIS, that is the digitized way of doing accounting in government, was introduced. It was always down so that people can do manual things. You know why? When it's manual, the audit trail can be tampered with. So most systems, even voting actually, look, Hope, if you went to Shangombo and you find a bank there, you know that your ATM works. It will work. So the technology exists to make sure that, no, I shouldn't go far. When I go to St. John's these days, when the doctor sees me, after he sees me, the doctor punches in the details and the medicine he wants me to get. Then I just walk. I don't walk out with a manual prescription. I just walk to the pharmacy. The pharmacy asks me the name. He pushes in the name, and the medicine that is there comes out. And the pharmacist must account for that medicine. If we did that, Hope, this thing would just disappear. Especially, that's why I said, We were chatting.
Well, we make it sound so
yes.
simple. So why are we still here? Are these? I mean, what have you tabled? You know what you have just given us here. Are these suggestions that you were giving before? Because I believe what you've explained sounds so simple. Like we should not be here right now. So why hasn't that been taken up?
Thank God for AI and everything. The Internet of Things is such that everything is there and the money is there. And actually, I am told that some authorities have said, you chaps, no, actually, it's the president, let me say. This is reported speech. If you are saying that you are spending 4 billion kwacha for medicines, why can't you take 400 million kwacha so that you do systems? Now, when you bring in systems, then it's like you bring in light and you bring in something to kill. You know how the cockroaches scamper in all directions. Now, when you do that, what happens to the beneficiaries of the stolen medicines? They're out of business.
All right, well, Mr. Nyasulu, we have to end here. And, well, my question to you now is, what message do you hope the public takes away from your story? I mean, you've shared your story before you were Zammsa DG. As Zammsa DG, you're dismissal now. What story should we take away?
I want the Zambian people to know that I'm very thankful that I'm a Zambian, that I was educated in a proper free education under the Kaunda regime. And you have educated me and you have given me 28 years of experience in various institutions, private and public. I want to tell you that I meant to save you and I did my part at Zammsa. I have nothing to do with this medicine theft. It's a new accusation from the people who have the information. And I just came here to tell you I am going to court whenever the government is ready, and I'm going to court not to discuss theft of USG donated medicines, but to discuss the procurement glitches related to giving business to local companies. You know what the president says about buying local. You know how the local manufacturing industry must be supported. But I am going to court to explain why that was done. I thank you.
All right, and you've also given the minister 72 hours to retract his statement.
Yes.
If he doesn't after the 72 hours?
Court.
All right. Well, Mr. Nyasulu, thank you so much for coming through this morning. It's been great having you on the hot seat.
Thank you, Hope.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
All right, have a great day.
Yeah, same.
All right, so that's it for Tuesday's edition of the Hot Sit, and I have been your host, Hope Chishala. Our guest this morning was the former Zammsa Director General, Mr. Victor Nyasulu. Up next is the Urban Vibe with Honey.
Next week at the same time, exclusive to Hot 87.7.
Good news, Lusaka! Fashion lovers and homemakers, Sandile Trading is here for you. Looking for the latest trendy ladies and men's shoes? Visit us at Oasis Mall, Shop 42, right opposite the Intercity Bus Terminus. Need home appliances and stylish furniture? We've got you covered at our 3 outlets in Kamwala off Chilumbulu Road, Ngombe near the Urban Health Center, and Bauleni Main Market next to Tom Tiger. Follow us on Facebook at Sandile Trading, TikTok at Sandile Trading Official, Instagram Official Sandile Trading, or call us now on 0772-227-333. Sandile Trading, quality, affordability, and variety all under one name. Your #1 shop of choice.
13 years, 13 winners, and 13 grand prizes. It's the 13th year anniversary of your friendly every neighborhood hypermarket. Cheers Hypermarket. Up until the 19th of June 2025. Spend 200 kwacha or more and stand a chance to win a car, 8 kVA genset, double door fridge, a 65-inch smart TV, and so much more.
You heard right.
Spend 200 kwacha or more and stand a chance to be rewarded quite big. It's the Cheers Hypermarket's 13th year anniversary. Cheers Hypermarket. A smile in every aisle. Cheers, mate.
The new Fruticana smoothie in 4 exciting flavors. Fruticana smoothie, color your mood.
This is Maro Auto Spares. With that check engine light on your dash or anything else, Maro is your one-stop shop for all your genuine auto spares for your car. From Nissan, Toyota, Mercedes-Benz, Mitsubishi, Subaru, Mazda, and all other car brands in Zambia with pricing that is better than the other guys. Don't waste your time. Call Maro on 0977 434 717 or visit them along Chilumbulu Road opposite Livana Secondary School at Mount